it can be tough, man. Your 30s, if you don't have your life together, dating, oh, that's the worst. Living at home with your mama in your 30s, unless you saving a bunch of money, let me put that disclaimer out there. But even then, nobody wants to date anybody that's still living home with their parents. Most people, I should say. You got to have some money in today's society. Like, this whole situation has changed. What it used to be is no longer. As a man, if you ain't got no bread and you ain't got something going on, bro, it's gonna be tough. Things start changing when you hit the big 3-0. Welcome back to the Jahmad Show. Thank y'all for tuning in. So glad you can make it. If you read today's topic, obviously it's about the age 30. The big number. Some people have already surpassed the big number. But at the same time, there's some people who have it, who wonder, I wonder where I'm going to be at in my 30s. Well, as an example, I have a testimony to tell you your 30s can be awesome if you want them to be. Depends on where you're at in life, right? My situation, once I hit 30 as a man, things just got clear. Like, for whatever reason, I was able to see through the fog. And it's amazing. Like, once I hit 30, everything was surrounded around, I'm 30 years old. I can't do that. Hey, I'm too old for that. I'm 30. I can't do that no more. I'm 30. But it's true, right? At least I thought it was. And I still think it is. I mean, I think when you get to a certain level of age, a number, a specific number like 30, you start to change the way you move. You start to change the way you think. And I think it's innate. I think it's just organic within men for the most part, but your career starts to take off. That's a beautiful thing. If you have a family, a wife, y'all start to build a family together. Typically people start buying some homes. I mean, just life in general starts to really creep up for you. And there's a lot of growth that happens within your 30s, like just maturity. Things that you've been through in your 20s and you get to 30 and you said, I'm too mature for this. I need to step out of this realm, or I need to find some new friends, which kind of brings it to the other point. Things can get really, really tough in your 30s also if you're not prepared for them. Most people did not prepare correctly, right? They played around a lot in their 20s and then they get 30 and they still playing around. And now they realize, oh, I'm no longer the young kid. I'm no longer the young person who is stupid and foolish and who can get away with making mistakes. People don't want to hang around people who are grown and irresponsible, right? That's not cool. Like, nobody wants to be around somebody who doesn't have their shit together, at least a little bit. At least you're trying. I talked about this before in some of my other shows. At least you're doing something, right? If you didn't plan, if you didn't prepare, boom, once you hit 30, okay, it's time to lock in. It's time to get better. It's time to grow. Then that's going to show. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, but it's a life lesson. And some people never learn it. You ever heard the saying called an old fool? It's a lot of them. Don't be the old fool. Learn in your 20s. Matter of fact, start grinding in your 20s. So when you hit 30, you get it, right? There's people that's older than 30 right now, 40s, 50s, whatever, and saying, he got a point. Either they're the old fool and they smartened up, or they went the actual progressive route and the fruits of their labor has been shown. It's evident, it's obvious that what I'm saying works. So from a successful standpoint and just a maturity standpoint, that's the positive and the negative. Your 30s can be what you make them, essentially. Your life can be what you make it, essentially. It's all up to you. Don't buy what they tell you. It is up to you. Trust me. You make every decision, and that will dictate how your life will run. And try to maintain and stay in control as much as possible. That's just some other advice I would give you, if I was giving advice. But this is just me venting, talking, and hopefully shedding some light on some of the things you didn't know once you got to 30. Now, the other interesting point, and this may be just the people who are in their 30s already, as a man, dating in my 30s is actually blissful. You thought I was gonna say tough, but it's not. It's actually a beautiful thing because I'm more mature, right? I went through some things. I went through some terrible relationships. I went through some heartaches. I went through some hardships, right? I went through some letdowns, but I also went through some ups, some great times, met some good people, and learned some great things. And over the years, combining all of that and being in a space, by the way, I am single. I'm 34 on my way to 35. So I'm a seasoned 30-year-old, I would like to think. I've been around a little bit, and it's a beautiful thing for me right now. I mean, the show's jumping. I got a cool career for what it is. You know, life is good, and I've been through some things. Now, on the flip side, I gotta talk about the downside. It can be tough, man. Your 30s, if you don't have your life together, dating, oh, that's the worst. Living at home with your mama in your 30s, unless you saving a bunch of money, let me put that disclaimer out there. But even then, nobody wants to date anybody that's still living home with their parents. Most people, I should say. You got to have some money in today's society. Like, this whole situation has changed. What it used to be is no longer. As a man, if you ain't got no bread and you ain't got something going on, bro, it's going to be tough. Just letting you know. So if you're a younger dude, trust me, get your money together. Focus on you. If you're already in your 30s and this is making sense, please shed some light on some people. And hopefully this is motivation for you to get up and get on your job. You feel me? And if you're older, come on, let's get engaged. We need this as a culture. We got to talk about this stuff. Otherwise, people are getting led astray. And it's not fair. You see what I'm saying? But the beautiful thing about it is, it's not over. You got time, right? Your 30s, if you don't get it together in your 30s, you can get it together in your 40s. If you don't get it together in your 40s, you can get it together in your 50s. As long as you breathing. My cousin said this in the last show that we did together. Go check that out. King Capo Sit Down. He talked about as long as you doing what you're supposed to be doing, as long as you breathing, you got an opportunity to do what you need to do. And it's true, man. Life can be as beautiful as you want it to be. But the question is, do you want it to be? That's up to you. As always, man, I love y'all. I know you've been seeing me on this whole show. I never said anything about this bucket hat. But this is the new merch, man. Go check out the new merch. Same with this hoodie. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving how these products came out. Support the show, support the movement. I always say love, peace at the end of my show, but this really means the world to me. And at the same time, regardless of what it means to me, this represents a bigger cause than me. It represents spreading that love, spreading that peace. And when you wear this, it speaks for itself. You feel me? Go cop some merch, man. TheJahmadShow.com. You can find all the new podcast updates, all the new merchandise, any newsletters. All the great things will be at TheJahmadShow.com. Support the movement, support the show. As always, I love y'all. We're going to keep the ball rolling. Also, check me out on YouTube Music. And don't let me forget, if you like the setup, all those links will be down in the description. Let's keep it going, man. Love. Peace.